The nonsense that is in the world today has gone, we've already know it's gone too far. It went way too far a long time ago. But white men just, I don't know. I had to say let's look at this. I'm a black person and I don't like what she just said. I don't like it.
What do you think about white men?
I think it's just the term white man, just immediate turn off.
What do you think of black men?
Love.
Do you think it's racist?
How's that not racist? How is that not, even if it's not racist, how is that not a huge bias? No, that's racist. That's racist.
To, by default, not like white men?
I mean, I don't think so, because I think there's a difference between like racism and that's an interesting question.
It is an interesting question.
Yeah, because like I mean I don't.
It's just gone too far. It's just gone, and again, it's gone too far. Like, white men have probably never done anything to her. Or she probably would have said, I've had some bad experience, and she would have gone on and on and on about the things that white men have done to her. But white men have done nothing to this woman at all. Nothing. But she's like a guy in the other video that didn't like Michael Knowles just for whatever someone else said. She's also a sheep. She's a sheep. She's a child. Children are led around by the nose, right? We have to tell children, go brush your teeth, go take a shower. Don't put your hand on the stove because it's hot. Put your pants on, one pant leg at a time, right? She's a child. She has to be told what to believe and what to think. She has to be told. Somebody told her that white men are the worst. And she goes, oh, you know what? I think they are the worst. She's a sheep and she's a child in effect. This woman is a child.
Dislike, but there is like nervous feeling. I don't know.
So when she sees a white man coming, she's nervous. She gets a nervous feeling from what? What are they gonna do? I like play some Barry Manilow for? Like what are we talking about? They're gonna play some opera music? What?
So if you met someone who said that they get nervous around black men and that they've had bad experiences with black men, would you still consider that racist?
Ooh, yeah, I see your point.
It would be racist. That's the point. Thank you, Xavier, for pointing that out. I hope that I pronounced that correctly, but thank you for pointing that out. It would be racist. If you said, I get really nervous when I see black men coming, yeah, that would be racist. And she would, in effect, be canceled. Anybody else would be canceled. But we can walk around talking about white men all we want to. And nobody bats an eye. Well, I'm batting an eye. Let's not be racist, ladies and gentlemen. Let's be fair. Let's be equal. Let's judge everyone off of their merit. Whatever they did to you, judge them off of that. If they did nothing to you, keep it level. Do you love your children or your nephews or your nieces? Do you want to keep them? Check this out.
California is now considering a bill that would send children as young as 12 years old to group homes without the parents' permission.
This will affect every single parent in the state of California. I'll give you an example like this. Your 12-year-old has TikTok, your 12-year-old has a cell phone and social media, and you're not comfortable with the way that he or she is using that social media. You get in a huge fight, you take the phone away, you ground them for a week or two, and they go to school. Well, now the state has inserted these professional individuals, professional people on to public school campuses. And now your child is having a hard day. The teacher notices and recommends that they go get a counseling session. When they're at that session, they divulge, they share with this adult who they believe is a trusted adult who's taking care of them. And they share they had a total terrible blowout fight with you and your husband or your partner. They don't want to go home. They don't feel comfortable talking to you. And the professional person asks them if they want to go maybe cool off a couple of days and somewhere off campus and outside of the home.
So how come children have this option, but parents don't? Parents just can't go cool off, but children can go cool off outside of the home. It seems to me that the children in California are no longer yours. If they go to school, they're not your kids. Look at the comment section. California is out of control. What the hell? Drives me crazy. I don't have access to their health records since 13 years old. Now they will get up and leave? BS. Why bother parenting? Right? And there are a lot of people that agree. Your child just has to tell the office they want you, that they want you to have access to their records, then you do. I don't know about that. That's just a way for the CPS to take for their sex trafficking. Yep. I understand this. Look into this. There's a CPS office that was prosecuted. People at some CPS offices were prosecuted for sex trafficking children. I believe it was in Los Angeles, if I'm not mistaken. Correct me if I'm wrong, but this did happen. So it's wild. It's demonic. It's crazy.
And your child says yes. Now, only children who have been found to be the victims of incest, child abuse, or a serious risk of harm to themselves or others can be removed from the home without their parents' knowledge and consent. If AB 665 passes the way that Wendy Carrillo and Senator Scott Wiener want it to pass, a 12-year-old who's deemed mature enough by the professional person can not only receive the mental health treatment, but can opt themselves out of their home into a residential facility, and the parent would never know.
That's crazy. That's wild. A child can emancipate him or herself without the parents even knowing. Imagine your child going to school one day. Imagine your child going to school one day and never coming home. Right? Let's say that the child was supposed to walk home and you go looking around for the school for the child and all the counselors and stuff have already gone home. You're looking for your child, right? And the counselor has sent your child away to the state, but nobody knows where your child is. And then you find out the next day after you've probably had a massive heart attack because your child is missing. And you come to find out that the state has taken your child and letting him or her cool off for a couple of days. Are you serious? And at what point are they going to charge you for that stay? I guarantee you the state of California, as cheap as they are going to charge you for that stay. The comments say Democrats are satanic pedos. Right? Because I don't get the channel banned. What the heck? What? Nope. Sounds like a new way of trafficking. They're trying anything and everything they can do to get a hold of your kids. They're trying to indoctrinate them. They're trying to tell the kids, if you hit them or you say something wrong, you need to cool off, right? Then come on over. Yeah, you shouldn't be beating on your kids, but kids can be spanked. They can be spanked. But if they don't want to be at home anymore, it's just ridiculous. So scary and wrong. And look at all these emojis. It's crazy. Parents are not okay with this. We need to vote this out. And we also need to vote out the people. See, and this is where we need to get smarter as Americans. People who come up with these bills or try to put these laws into practice, we need to vote them out. We need to see who they are and we need to vote them out. They need to lose their jobs. And then if other politicians see that they were voted out of office for that specific reason, then they will stop. It will cease. Every time you come up with some wild stuff to indoctrinate our children, we're going to vote you out of office. You're not going to have a job. You'll be serving coffee at Starbucks. Stop. Just stop. Leave the children alone. So quite honestly, I was scrolling through TikTok and this came across my For You page. And trust me, I don't get into this kind of content ever. But I thought it was interesting when I started to dive into the comments. But let's listen to the video first.
always like that. Actually, it is. So I am a diagnosed nymphomaniac, which means that I am constantly aroused. So I do produce a excessive amount of discharge because of that.
So the guy pinned at the top, I don't know if he's pinned or not, but the guy at the top says location. And Denzel says straight to the point, huh? Andre says, why waste time? This other guy says, crazy bastard, right? And there's a lot of laughing, right? A lot of people think it's so funny. This next user says, I miss when we had secrets. And the person under that said, for real. I swear I didn't have to know this eating dinner, swiping on TikTok, then hearing about discharge. Yeah, to men, the word discharge just says STD to us. To women, I think it says something different, but to us, it just says, nah, I'm not down. Me too, people are crazy. Sounds inconvenient, really. It kind of does. So these are probably all, like, I think these first two are women. I definitely think that last one's probably a woman. This woman says, you should find Jesus. This other person says, oh, she fired back. Was this her? Yeah, it's creator. She fires back. He's in my room right now. So she's clapping back, apparently. So this is kind of funny. So after that, I wouldn't even try to reply to you. So it's funny. So this is interesting. What we are willing to put on the internet these days. Can you put that condition in a bottle and sell it? Selling So this guy wants her to sell her discharge. Hey, yo, bro. You didn't. Oh, my goodness. And they're forwarding to the people. People are like, no, don't do that, dog. Like, and again, sometimes the comment sections are actually funnier than the videos themselves. You're sick. Laugh my butt off. Yeah, I mean, so does that mean it's an ocean 24/7? So, I mean, guys don't really understand what's going on. I can see why we saw a lot of pads in today's society, because if women are going through things like this, I could see why. So it's okay. I can accommodate. So you're gonna get those creepy guys that are want to throw their name in the hat, but this is wild. So I'm not even gonna ask, have any of you ever experienced it? But be safe. The nonsense out here is wild. Hey everybody, welcome back to another edition of Nonsense. I'm your host Lee, and I have a question for you. Would you date a single mom? What about this one?
So I'm a single mom myself, and I totally understand your sentiment. As a single mom, you will never, ever, ever catch me acting upset or being offended by any man who says that he's unwilling to date single moms. I would rather know that that's his preference and his standpoint up front, so that I don't waste any time trying to get to know someone who has a preference that I'm not, regardless of what it is, right? Unfortunately, I've seen this firsthand, that a lot of single moms do not share this sentiment, and they actually are very offended by men who would not date single moms.
So her perspective on the fact that you have your preference to not date single moms is a turn on to a lot of guys. Number one, she's pretty. Number one, she has good head on her shoulder, and she's not easily triggered, which is very good. So I could liken that to her ethnicity, right? The fact that she's Asian. Most Asian women, I don't think I've ever seen Asian woman on TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, who was like yelling into the camera and triggered by something that a man would say. So they're very respectful in that way. A lot of other women are very disrespectful and very triggered by things that men say, but they got it together, it seems like.
I think it's a weird line of thinking, because everyone is entitled to have their preference and live the lifestyle that they want. And if dating someone with children doesn't fit their lifestyle, why be mad at them? So one of my mutuals, Dana, made a video earlier today, I believe, about an interview with this guy who basically said that he was a high value man and his preference was not to date single mothers as a childless man. And the women in the show got really, really upset, and so did the women in the comments on that video. I'll tag it here if I can find it. And again, I think that this is just such a weird line of thinking, because why would you as a woman try to change a man's preference to fit what you are? In the back of your head, you are always going to know that you are actually not that man's preference. And wouldn't you kind of have anxiety over, once he met his preference, would he just leave you? Because again, you don't fit his actual preference.
I agree with that 110%. She's speaking logic. And I think that's going to elude a lot of women because they're in their feelings about it. But she makes an excellent point. Why would you want to change someone's opinion about that? Because you're not really going to change their opinion. You may talk them into giving you a chance, but they're in the back of their mind, they're like, I really don't like this, right? I may get an onion, a hamburger with onions. I don't like onions, but I may get onions on it. But I'm probably not going to enjoy it. And I probably may end up picking the onions off. Ma'am, if you have a child and there's a man who doesn't want a woman with children, you are in effect a hamburger with onions. And if he decides to get rid of the hamburger because he doesn't like the onions, then you're kind of just left hanging. You should really try to focus on being with somebody who's okay with you being a single mom. Same thing with single dads. Same thing. They have the same fight.
I don't know. I just wouldn't want to live with that. Unfortunately, I have seen this attitude firsthand with a lot of women who are single moms, and they almost feel entitled to feel this way towards men who state that they have this preference. And again, everyone's entitled to live the life they want to live. If someone's children don't fit into the lifestyle that you want to live, you can't be mad at them for it. You just...
Exactly. And a lot of people are mad at other people for it. I don't think she's going to have a problem finding a date, though. I'm just going to say that. Look at the comment sections. Jeffrey says, call me. Kai says 100%. Angel says, you rock, right? She's getting a lot of hearts. You're good looking at AF. As you know, we know what AF is, right? If you don't, Google it. I'll date you, heart and fire. So Ray says he'll date her. So she can get plenty of attention. So I don't think she has an issue with that. So yeah, just the single moms out there, if there are guys that don't want to date single moms, it's okay, because there are plenty of guys that do. There are plenty of guys that do.
Just keep it moving. So I think I'm a little different from other women in that I actually take it one step further. I advise my childless male friends to not be involved with single mothers if they can help it, because
Really?
what I see very often is men vastly underestimate the level of expectation and how certain things can negatively affect their relationship with a single mother. They think they can handle it and think, she's a beautiful woman, I can deal with a couple of kids being around every once in a while. What they don't consider are the long-term implications of staying with a single mother, because all they see is short-term, right? They don't think about, I'm going to be expected to be a positive, consistent male role model in these kids' lives. Even if I'm not a father, I'm going to have to financially contribute every once in a while, just by nature of combining families. I'm going to...
Not every once in a while, every month. You got to pay the rent or the mortgage. You got to help with daycare. You got to pick up kids, drop them off. You got to help pay for clothes. You got to help pay for food. You got to help pay for doctor's visits. There's a lot of stuff that goes into it. A lot of stuff that goes into it. But I'll say this. If I am with a single mom, I need to be in full control. I need to be in full control. That's just me. That's how I operate. Of the relationship and of the children, I need to be in full control. The woman needs to relinquish full control to me. And not to say that I want to control her, control the child, but only one person can drive the car. Two people can't drive the car. So I've got to be able to drive the car. She's got to be comfortable with me leading our family in the direction that we need to be going in. And I think it'll be fine. But I think once you've got another parent, the baby's daddy, who's all involved, it starts getting real sticky, real quick, real fast. So even her interactions with him kind of just, it doesn't inspire confidence, and it doesn't make the other partner comfortable.